Alright, what's up everyone? Time to play some poker. Get things set up here. Alright, there we go. Okay. Alright, yeah, this is a tournament I'm registered for. It'll be Thursday night. Probably won't be able to do it. I switched my sleep schedule, so I won't be awake during the nighttime anymore. Well, I'm gonna be waking up for when work starts at like 1 a.m. for my job. But now I get during the day, like right now, to play, so. And I'm awake during more of the normal part of the day, anyways. 10:25. My bankroll is getting close to going up. I just added more money to it from just extra money I have left over after paying bills this month. But that's kind of the plan, is whatever extra money I have, if any, after each month from paying off my credit cards and my bills, and that will go towards poker. I think this is a call. It wasn't a fold, it was either a call or a raise. Alright. 2 overs and a queen high flush draw. What is this guy betting so large for? Calling's not ideal. I don't know if I can get him to fold. Why is he betting so large? I don't want to go broke on a flush draw here. This is ridiculous. I don't think I can get him to fold if I re-raise. And if I re-raise, I'm pretty much pot committing myself, or close to it, so I'm just gonna let it go. I don't understand why he bet so big. I mean, he raised so big pre-flop, but we're still pretty deep. Alright, that's a check. Nah. Didn't connect with it at all. Probably gonna stab at it no matter what. I just have nothing to work with, though. Why couldn't you bet that sizing last game? That made no sense. Limp with Jack 6. Okay, so this guy's a maniac. Limp re-raise with Jack 6. Alright, well. He'll go all in with bad hands, but will he call in all in with bad hands? That's a different kind of maniac, and I don't know if he's that type. Against maniacs, you're going to deal with a lot of variance. You'll have to be dealing with a lot more all-in pots, and it looks like that's what we'll be doing. But we'll still have to pick our spots. Let's just see a flop. No reason to raise here. 7, 8, I got a gut shot. 1 over. And a backdoor straight flush draw. Holy shit. Holy shit. Now we gotta get this pot going. I'll bet $1. Well, I don't want to scare them off. I'll bet 85. A little over pot. Ah, come on. I was really hoping he'd give me action. Fold. Yeah, since this guy's having maniacal habits, like he showed me in the first hand we played with when I had that Queen 8 suited, I figured if I would have raised, which would have been the next best, the only other good option with my flush draw is to raise rather than fold. I had a feeling he was just going to re-raise all in, and there goes my fold equity, there goes, there goes my dog chewing his toys. Oh, this guy. 4 times re-raise on the turn. I would imagine he has a draw. There's a lot of draws on the board that missed. Yep, check to him, let him bluff at it, is what I'm thinking. He might go all in here. I wouldn't be too surprised. Oh, okay, so it looks like he's starting to pick his spots. He's not a stupid maniacal player. Looks like if he gets a feeling someone's gonna stick around, then he doesn't go for it. Alright, this one I can defend. I think it's barely in my calling range. These guys have not been 3-betting much, so I'm not gonna be worried about it too much. Ah, no cigar. Just an overcard and a backdoor straight draw, and a hot size bet that I'm folding to. Not a single spade to work with. Even if I did have one, I would have folded there. This guy check raised. This guy's re-raising all in. What does he have? Oh, bluff 5, 6, 7. He has a double gut shot. Okay, so he'll chase. This guy will chase draws. Not from the hijack. Not from... Oh, wait. God damn it. Well, it would have been at the very bottom of my raising range. And against that stack size, I would have been okay with ace high going all in. Damn. I would have raised it from the cutoff. I thought this guy had a hand over here. Ooh, ace 8. Yeah. Oh, okay. Jack 8. Hope it's taking it now. That's good. One less distraction. Right, this guy hasn't been getting too much out of hand. Three big blind raise. I don't know if I can give up this big blind. I think this is barely in my calling range. Yeah, this is a light call, but I'm gonna defend it. Okay. Yep. Backdoor straight. Huh. Yeah, I just got nothing to work with. Yeah, I had a feeling that would happen on most boards anyways, but... A7. Okay, probably gonna 3-bet if I'm facing a raise here. A lot of limps. We got 2 limps so far. I'm looking to re-raise. Alright, so I usually do 5 times. There's another limp, so 6 times. So 150. Yeah. A little bit less because I'm not exactly 100 big blinds deep. But I got a good blocker. So, yep, there we go. Always look for an excuse to re-raise from the small blind. Ooh, baby. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Alright, so we got a limp, which would be 5 times, 6 times. We're in position, and I'm a little bit shallow, so I'll just do... I'll do 125 again. This hand can go multi-way, but I got good enough blockers and really good post-flop playability in one hand. Yeah, we're calling that. And you cannot re-raise. Ooh, baby. Give me. Alright, so this hits my range. Not super connected board. Not really connected that much. And so not a whole lot of range connectivity here. And I'm in position, so I'm gonna bet small here. I'm gonna do like 220. Okay. Ooh, ace 4. Needs an ace. Alright, I'll take it. I'll take it. Alright. I will raise with this from the cutoff. Let's see, 3.5 big blinds is about, let's do some, 75. We'll call it 85. 85 plus I'm out of position, so we'll just do, we'll do 1.10. And if someone re-raises, I just fold, but alright, there we go. Pick up the pot. Only got jack high. Let's fold. Why are you checking down? What are we? 1, 2, 3. We're 6-handed, so I'm in the low jack. If this guy posts his big blind. Yep, there it is. Not quite good enough for the low jack here. If it was ace 10 off, I would do it. Or if it was ace 8 suited, I would do it. Limp, raise the 3 big blinds, call from the small blind. Limper calls. Small blind. Leading out here for about half pot. It might have flopped. Not a lot of 2-pair combinations that make sense. Maybe queen 7 suited. They could have flopped a set or a flush draw here. I block a lot of the flush draws though, so maybe he's got a premium hand. That would make sense why he's betting big on the turn. Could still play like a flush draw the same way. This guy's re-raising after calling. He's still fighting for it. He might be pot committed. Oh, queen deuce. Oh, that's a weird 2-pair combo. Queen deuce suited, not too weird, but still not ideal to be playing. So he did have the 2-pair. This guy hit his flush. Wait. No, he filled up. Full house. Oh, that's a really premium hand. Holy crap. Alright, they're not checking this. We're not folding this. Alright. So limper in the cutoff. Small blind fold. Alright, so I'm out of position facing 1 limper. So I do 150 usually. No, I'd add a little bit more. This looks like a big raise, but I'm just following the chart. If you face a limper and you're out of position, it's 6 big blind. Wait. Ah, fuck. I did go too big. Six big blinds. Six big blinds would have been 150. Miscalculation on my end. This is going to be a re-raise, though. 25. Only facing one opponent, so I don't need to raise too big, but we are a little bit deeper. I'll go 130. Alright, I'll take it. This is always a fold. No need to get out of line. No one else is really getting out of line. The only way I'm playing a hand this week is if everyone's folding. Everyone after me to act has just knit among knits. This is a good hand. It is a pretty good hand. Alright, and the hijack fold, so it acts on me. So, let's see. 4.5, so we'll do 130. Yeah, we'll do 130 again. Wait, that's way too much. 75, 110. I want to do 110. 4 big blinds is $1. Call from small blind. Okay. Call from the big blind. Alright, my hand needs protection for sure. Not checking this through. So it's better to bet on the big side. I'm thinking like 250. Do 230. Alright. I like it. Did not want to see a turn. Did not want to see a 6, 8, 10, or spade. Or jack. Jack can also complete some open-ended straights. Alright. That's the thing about big pocket pairs is when it goes multi-way on a connected board like that, the best play is kind of play your hand face up. Like, hey, I got a good hand. I don't want y'all to see. I'm not letting you see a turn for cheap. Oh, take that too. Queen 7. If it folds to me, I'll raise this one. Well, we are getting deeper stacked against an opponent who can stack me. Oh, I'm not going to play it. I was only considering it if it folded to me. Check to the limper. Small blind, what you up to? Nothing. Must have had garbage. Okay, raising this one. Do 4.5 big blinds, so can do 110 again. Yeah, I like 110. Okay. Alright, we can easily defend against a standard raise size here with this hand. Yep, we'll be calling. Alright, so he raised on the button. He hasn't been raising too much, and he usually raises the 3 big blinds. I just have a backdoor straight draw. Yeah, I don't have really much potential on this board other than that. Check. He doesn't raise very often, so I'm more convinced that he has an ace. Even then, there's still a lot of high cards that beat me right now, so no need to get tricky here. I'll pick my spots. It's just 3 big blinds I invested. Oh, they all got these 2. Player 4 and 5 have to wait a hand. Okay, I could either call or 3-bet. I do have a blocker here. I don't think this guy raises often. Over here, so I could just keep the pot small. And if he does raise, then I can still call. If I raise and he re-raises, I have to fold. So I'll call. Okay, checked. Alright, I got two different backdoor straight draws. Not a single diamond to work with. So I want to keep the pot small for now. I need to see what potential I get on the turn. Okay, ace high is probably ahead. So I'll go ahead and bet. If he calls, what is he calling with? Okay, then I have to worry about it. I figured if he was calling, he's more likely to have a queen in range. Either queen or clubs. And I'd have to act accordingly. So these guys had to limp. So they have a wider range than usual. I could... do I want to do it? I got a decent enough blocker. But I also have multiple opponents. Never mind. The more deep stacked you get, the more careful you gotta be. So I started with 100 big blinds. Now I've got an extra, let's see, 4 times 5, 25 big blinds. 125 big blinds deep now. I mean, only against one opponent does that matter, but still. Big blind raises. What are the limpers called? One of the people who had the limp called. So it narrows their range a little bit. Still capped. Min re-raise. They must want to call, so they must have a strong draw is what I put them on. Or an incredibly strong mate hand, like set of 9s or queens. I don't think they would. You shouldn't really slow play, or you shouldn't raise small with the set on this kind of board. Now he's betting pot. I think there's more draw than his range that got there, or close to getting there. I think he bet way too big there. I think he should have done like 2/3 pot. Somewhere between half pot and pot, but not pot. Fold. I need to clip my fingernails. Checked around. Board got a not really more connected as far as straights go. Someone may have turned a straight draw, but I mean, you're gonna see a lot of one pair holdings here. Yep. Pair of eights versus pair of tens. What did I tell you? Min raise. This guy likes to min raise a lot. Well, I say a lot. I've seen him do it twice. Down to the big blind. Easy defend. Only one more big blind. To stay in a pot, I'll have 4.5 blinds. Check, check. Huh, they checked on the board. They should have continuation cut off. Bet call. Half pot call. Pair queen. What do they call it? Maybe king high is the worst thing they have there. Min raise. Not a lot of 3-betting at this table pre-flop, so I'm okay with calling with this. Suited king. Medium. Middle kicker. If there was a lot of 3-betting here, then I would have leaned more towards the fold. But, you never want to be in a tough position. So, if someone 3-bets right now, since it doesn't happen very often, I'm going to since they have a good hand. Alright, so 1 over, backdoor flush draw. Yeah, I'm okay with checking this. I get to see a king or a club or a 7. Okay, I just have king high. Alright, yeah, bet call. I'm not in good shape. There's I7. I don't think it's good though. Well, there is a misdraw. Could be good, but there was a call to that bet on the turn. So could have been slow playing his tens. Trip 10. Waited for the turn to bet. You're very pocket. Oh, this. Wow. The nice thing about high card hands. Sometimes ace high, king high wins. Wonder what the pot. Maybe he had a worse club draw. That makes him. That's the only thing that makes sense. Limp. Oh, my water's over here. Hold on. Are you kidding me? I'm just kidding myself. It's such a cheap price, but I mean he's not even though it's a min raise, he hasn't been raising with the weak range. Hmm. Such a big raise on a dry board. Huh. Makes you think it might be a blue. Only a few nut hands there, that makes sense. Alright, so far everyone who is playing this table is limped. Alright, come on, player 4. Stop being AFK. Alright, they're AFK. I'll call. Looking for a set. No set. Oh well. Just half a big blind. That's a fold. That's a fold. Wow. It's crazy. What the hell are you doing there with bottom pair? Why did this guy limp in with kings? This guy limped in with 2-3 suited. Not too crazy of a limp, but I mean, straightforward limper. That's the kind of cards you'll see. That's why you don't limp in with kings, but I mean, you're also gonna make a lot of money in that spot, so you're gonna win that spot way more times than not. It's had bottom pair and backdoor straight. Okay. About 75% pot. Another day in the office for him. K4. 4K. Button raises 3 big blinds. Should be raising bigger even though they're in position. Sister with a lipper. But you do you. That's half pot on an extremely connected board. Min raises. when they're really shallow. Okay. Any 10 makes a straight. Okay. Very likely they could have a 10. Alright, yeah, they had 2 pair. Okay, they had to play it aggressively on that board. Top. A scary hand to have there too. Now you raised to 5 big blinds. Huh. 5 big blinds. There was one limper. Oh. Extremely tiny bet. Semi-connected, just jack high board. Diamond raises again. Maybe they do have a jack. I'm betting half pot. A really good way to set up an all-in. I could have bet smaller, still set it up. Guess they didn't like that overcard to their jack. That's what I think they had. I don't know what else they would call a re-raise with. Excuse me. Man, damn. Ten four. Definitely gonna fold. Damn. I'm so tired. I don't feel that tired. I feel relaxed. I don't feel tired. I was I was a little sick yesterday, but it was just sick enough to keep me from going to bed last night. I didn't want to go to work on 3 hours of sleep, so I called in sick. Went back to bed. Woke up, felt better. But I guess my body's still used to having that broken up sleep. It's not the ideal way to get your 8 hours, but that's how I got it today. Is someone in bed already? God damn. There's some jaws out there. Fucking mad at me. That's another blank. The blank. Come on, player 4. Okay, half pot size bet. Player 5. I feel like they're just taking a stab at it. Maybe they have too high card. Maybe they think their ace high is good. But yeah, when the board is paired and medium low, and then the It checks around. The turn is a really low card that doesn't bring any draws. And it checks to you. It's probably safe to take a stab at it. What's with all these min raises, man? We're in min raise city, baby. Do I defend? I'll defend. I'm probably gonna lose the hand, but these are the types of hands you don't need to win very often. I've invested an extra 25 cents. Oh my god. I'm glad I fucking got in this hand. Yeah, we're gonna. Well, okay, I have options. I could either call. I have a combo draw. I could either call to keep the other people in, or I could raise now to get at full equity now. I'm okay with. I have a strong draw, so nah, I'm gonna raise now. Okay. Get the pot big. 65. Because I don't mind a fold. I don't necessarily want action, but I don't hate it. But at least I have an extra chance to get him to fold. I'm gonna bet big here too. Really, really big. Quarter. 625. Sometimes you gotta bet over pot, and I think it's a good spot to do it. Alright, cool. Because there's a good chance I could still hit my draw, and if I do, it's easy to just go all in for, while still giving my opponent decent odds to call. But it's still a big enough all in if I don't miss my draw and I can just bluff him off the hand. If I feel like he just has like a one pair holding or a weaker draw that didn't get there. And those are pots you don't have to win very often because I invested one big blind and went to the flop that had 8 big blinds in the pot. So only 1 out of 8 times do I have to win those hands. Or I should say flop well enough to continue. And the ace high is good enough to defend against a min raise, especially. And 2 other limpers who are not known to raise after limping. That is one nice thing about this table is, yeah, there's a lot of limpers, but none of them are tricky limpers. It's easy to just put them on a mediocre hand if they are continuing without raising. Not playing this hand. Oh, man. Oh, I'm getting a lot of shitty hands on the button. I got 6-3 not too long ago. Now I got this shit. Seven ten suited. If it folds to me, the thing about this hand, it's not. Yeah, there's a limp. There's gonna be so many limps. It's not really good to limp behind with this hand. It's not connected enough. If it was 10-8 suited, I could justify it, but 10-7 doesn't hit straights enough, and the highest card is not that high. But I am in the cutoff. It's not good enough to raise. I just gotta let it go. Gotta be patient. Oh, this guy's raising. 5 big blinds. That is what I would do if I was facing a limper. 5 big blinds. On the button, because you're in position. That's a fold. This is a really nice table. Everyone's playing so linearly. I haven't seen any bluffs. The only bluff I saw was the older player 5 that was sitting here when we first sat down. That guy was a maniac. And once he lost all his money, he left. Alright, so this guy raised, so let's pay attention to what hand they might have. Because we're not seeing a lot of raises. So when you see someone do something they don't do very often, you want to pay attention. Alright, this guy calls his limp. They raised to 7 big blinds after 1-2 people limped. Okay. And they are in the big blind. Oh wait, so 3, yeah, there's 3 limpers. They were in the big blind. Call, 1 caller. They're out of position, but heads up. Not a very connected board, just queen high. Not a whole lot of queens in their range. You could very well have a queen. There's a decent amount of queens in both of their ranges. Middle card pairs, that's usually not good for the guy who was a pre-flop raiser and showing aggression. They have more 8s. Number 4 has no more 8s in their range than number 2. Doesn't mean they have an 8 though. I wouldn't have gone all in here. No matter what you have. 9-8. Up, and they had the queen. Yep. So they raised with king queen suited. They called with 9-8 offsuit. They limped and then called with 9-8 offsuit. So yeah, middle connected cards, even though it wasn't suited. He fucking played it. So this is the type of player that just wants to see a flop with any decent hand against any decent raise. This guy didn't really... I don't blame him too much for making that call. When someone raises that big on that run out, I'm thinking they have either a flush draw or the 8s. Like, that's the only 2 things they can have. A really strong draw. Really strong draw, but if they had a strong draw, they could have some suited aces in their limp calling range. But yeah, a lot more 8s because straightforward limpers are going to have a lot more middle cards in their range. So it wasn't too surprising they had that. Had the trip 8s there. But yeah, that's something you don't want to see when the middle card pairs. So many times I've seen this happen. Cut off, hijack, low jack. Yeah, that's fold. With David, it's a pair. It gets counterfeited very often. It gets it um it's not so it's also let's say the weakest pocket pair I'd raise here is, let's see, cut off hijack, low jack, under the gun. I would probably raise pocket sixes and pocket fives. Those would be like where it teeters, where I'm calling or fold or raising or folding. Why are those better? It's still a small pair. Yeah, it's already better pre-flop, but sometimes with pocket sixes, the flop will come all low, and now you have an overpair. You're never going to flop an overpair with pocket twos, threes, fours, but you can flop an overpair with fives or higher. Not very often does it happen, but because it happens just enough often, it is now worth raising with from middle to early position. This is a fold. Now that we're in an earlier position, the table's filling up, we need some premium hands from under the gun to raise with, even against these straightforward players. So yeah, one thing we didn't even get to note about player 4 is, I mean, they raise so big, maybe they are willing to polarize their range there and have a strong draw that they are willing to re-raise with that big. It definitely didn't take it out of his range based on the way he played it. Alright, so we got a limped pot, blinds in the button. Alright, yeah, it's gonna check around on this board a lot. Very disconnected, paired board. Still disconnected. I blocked the open-ended straight draw. I would have had it 8, 9, 10 jack. Alright, bets 2/3 pot into two opponents. Could had a jack that he was slow playing, could have an 8, could have ace high. You know, first to the pot wins, so kind of hard to put everyone on a range there. Alright, so I am folding to any raise, even a min raise. Even if it's a min raise and everyone calls and I close the action. I'm not playing this hand. We got a limp. Straightforward limper. Hasn't shown any aggression pre-flop. Well, this guy's been sitting out of a lot of hands. So could have a stronger than normal limping range. Straightforward limping range. Three limps. I'll check it. 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 would be nice. Yeah. I don't like the hearts. I thought about betting it because a 3 would get me a straight, and 8 would give me a higher straight than what you see on the board. But yeah, I don't think open and straight draw is good here because you don't want to see a heart. You don't want to see a 3 or 8 of hearts. So you really only have 6 clean outs. Yeah, there you go. I thought about it, especially after I got to see them a bet and then 2 calls. I'm definitely gonna be behind. Yeah. Let's have punt when it's checked to him. Probably wanted to call. Most people who bet half pot want to call. Some people are aware of that and will bluff, have some bluff still in their in that betting size. And their range when they bet that size. There we go. I'm gonna raise. This guy folds. quite often. We'll do $1. This guy's kind of deep, so we'll do 110. Yep, cool. I was expecting to fold there a lot of the time. Alright, so player 1 folds. This is a hijack. Cut off is limping. I could squeeze here. I haven't been very active, and I do have a nice blocker. These guys do fold quite often. They could defend with a worse hand too. So let's raise to 125. 125, I think it's a good amount. 5 big blinds, average stack size, deeper, a little bit shallower. So, right, and the initial limper, and the only limper, folds. Cool. Nice. Important thing about an ace: always consider playing aces, because not only does that make your hand stronger, of course, but it blocks the likelihood of them having a hand that they're willing to continue with. So, blockers are important. And also, one thing I do want to note about this session, poker is a game of variance, but on average, what's going on with my stack is what usually happens. I'm just winning a bunch of small pots. I'm picking my spots, I'm just taking the blinds, I'm taking the limps, you know. I'm betting on boards that make sense with my range. Nothing too crazy. Everyone likes to watch videos of the big pots when they look up poker videos, but most poker is boring. Most poker is just winning small pots. That's blank. I still expect someone to take a stab at it. There we go. Half pot. So far, the hands that I've seen from people who bet half pot, it's I mean, they're betting what they have, the strength of their hand. It's usually like top pair with the medium kicker, or middle pair. No, no, no. Suited 5, 6, 7, 7. Yeah, not good enough. Keeps the pressure on. It is a draw heavy board. Huh. Probably didn't have that strong of a made hand. I put 8 on a made hand and I put 3 on a draw. The big or people in the blinds are more likely to have draws. This is actually gonna be a fold. So this is 8, 9, 10, 10, 10, yeah. It's just because I'm the earliest position, 8-handed. You don't really want to play 10 jack. You have to fold to a re-raise. It's a hand that can be dominated a lot of the time. Suited, it has enough playability. But just having those semi-high connected cards, you don't want to be betting into 7 people. Someone is likely to wake up with something strong. As we can see here, we got a re-raise from the small blind. Another call from the initial raiser. This still wouldn't have been a good spot for my hand because my kicker isn't all that great. It's good, but it's not, like I said, it's a hand that can be dominated. This guy could have very well re-raised with ace-jack, or maybe even king-jack. Don't see that very often, but a re-raise with with king-jack. But so the bet and a call, check, check. Huh. A pretty clean run out. This one overcard to what was on the flop now. But oh, he was bluffing with ace queen. Yeah, king queen. So made sense he raised, made sense he 3-bet pre-flop. King queen I would say is still strong enough to call. And he did. And he called with 2 overs to his flop bet. So when he bet and then he called number 8, number 4 probably knew he had something made, but he was still actually ahead. And it went check, check. This is a fold. Yeah, because there's a lot of jacks he could have had in his range. Player 8 could have had. So I don't blame him for the way he played it. I think they both played it right. They both played really well on that hand. Pot. Usually people who bet half pot want to get called. And we don't know if that was the case. They didn't get called. If it folds to me, I'll raise, but I doubt that will ever happen. Yep, I'm folding. Mm. So pretty big re-raise. Well, there was 2 callers, so I don't blame him too much. He is in position 150 to 25. Yeah, he did 3 times the raise plus this amount. The 2 callers. Re-raise. This definitely hits his range way harder. I expect around a half pot size bet here, maybe bigger, because there's enough range connectivity um, for the pre-flop caller. Okay, bets on the smaller side. I expect a call here very often. Oh, no, not this time. Maybe he had a pocket pair lower than a queen. Maybe he had... Well, just anything other than ace and a queen. That is like medium high, like 9 to jack. I have not been getting hands. I should have put a time limit on myself. I usually play before I go to work, but now I'm playing after work. So I need to have a time where I tell myself I need to stop playing. I'm still feel like I'm on my A game, but I feel like, you know, I gotta go to bed in 2.5 hours, so I do want a little bit of time to relax. How long have I been playing? A little over an hour. Okay. Alright. Bets about 80% pot, 3/4 pot, somewhere around there. On a blank turn. So this hand is just barely strong enough to raise if it folds to me. If this player 5 puts any money in, I won't play it. I want to be the first one to raise and possibly get people to fold. And maybe this guy's just AFK. Alright, 3.5, 4.5. But round up a little bit. So I'll do 115. Cool. Another small pot coming my way, baby. And that's after I paid the small and big blind, so I'm just back to where I was last orbit. This guy just joined, so he has to limp. Or, you know, he can raise 2 if he wants. Probably just gonna limp. Any random hand. Alright, so 3-way limped pot, including the big blind. Now a 4 doesn't look too bad. Ace high is also good. This guy limped with ace jack. What are you doing with your life? Do you want to play poker? Oh my gosh. Okay, so this guy has a really strong limping range. A wide limping range, but strong one. I don't like the kicker on this suited king from this position, so... Or hijack, low jack, under the gun, +1. Yeah, people tend to shut down when flushes come in. Alright, so we got a min raise and then 2 callers. Big blind completes. Excuse me. Let's have pot here into 4 opponents after one of them checked. No, really connected 4. Maybe had ace 9, king 9, queen 9. I blocked a lot of the straight draws. I less likely had one of those. This guy limped. No need to raise with this guy. Okay. Very well could have limped in with the ace or king. I'm not gonna bluff here. And I definitely expect him to bet very often here. But I just don't have a strong enough hand here. Almost bets one big blind. I thought about leading myself. That way I could put him on a range, and I kind of wish I did. But also, if he calls, like, I'm only hoping for a 9 or a 7, and even, like, that's the only way my hand improves. I don't even know if that's good. He's going to be calling with a lot of aces and kings. You just have to give it up. Can't try to outplay them every single time, because people will know you're making too many moves and call you, and now your bluffs aren't working. This was not good. Okay, so I'm getting good odds, and I don't expect people to raise very often, so I'm very okay with calling here. Alright, just middle pair. No diamond to work with, no straight draw to work with as of now. If I get a 9, I can work with it. I want to see an 8, 9, or 10 on this turn. A 6 would give me a gut shot, but that's not a strong enough draw. Yeah, this was he called his pre-flop raise, and now he's betting a little less than half pot. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's only 9 cards on the turn I want to see. Yeah, I don't know what the people after me are gonna do either. I wish I had a diamond to work with here. If I needed the diamond on the flop, though. Let's see, what could this guy have? This guy raised and checked to him. He bet on the flop and then he called. Player 2 called. Now they check again. Check, check. Huh. Huh. Ah, man. They had me beat. I'm surprised they bet with that. I was putting him on an ace until he checked the river. Well, no, until he folded, because check calling with the ace is fine there. Oh, I meant I put number 5 on an ace. until he checked the river. Surprised neither of them had that. But I didn't get a chance to see what number 2 had. Oh, he had King Queen, that's right. Yeah, he had the gut shot. With I think he had a backdoor flush to go with it too. Alright, so limp. This guy has to limp. That is a weird spot. Offsuit 8s, 9s, 9. I don't think this hand's good enough to squeeze here. Not with 2 limpers. If it was ace 10, I would do it. If it was king jack, I would do it. But if it was king 10, I would raise too. Or king 10 suited, I mean. Obviously, it's king 10. It was just barely too weak for me, given the circumstances. But the guy who had to limp raises 4 big blinds back to the initial limper. Checks, who calls and then checks on the flop. Low coordinated board, and then continuation bet. Must have had at least a pair of 8s is what I'm putting him on. There's a fold. Okay. Here's a hand. I like this hand. Just kidding, but suited. This guy has an issue with being AFK, man. Come on. I'm gonna make this my last hand. I've been playing for about an hour and 20 minutes. A little bit, about 20 minutes longer than usual. I slowly want to gradually increase my stamina here, but as of right now, I'm starting to get worn out. I'm gonna raise to 115. I have some hands I could continue on here. Any ace, king, or 10. They have some. I'm gonna bet small. Do like 75. That way I can put them on a hand. I don't want to check to them and wonder what they're betting with on the turn. Alright, cool. Alright, unless this is a good hand, I'm gonna call it here. Oh, fucking shit. Well, you gotta keep playing poker. Oh well. Oh well. I guess I'll just do it again. Raise to 115. Watch me lose a big pot on my last hand. I got a call from the cutoff. Call from the button. Holy shit. Okay. I'm gonna check on this board very often, and I do have a good enough hand to slow play. I can rep the turn card if it's higher than 9 as top pair most of the time. Not where it's not a there's no flush draw. There's of course straight draws, but I'm okay with slow playing this one round of betting. Okay. Not very wet. I'm gonna check a lot with most of my range. I'm calling a lot with like one pair hands, like one pair of 8, one pair of 9s, 2 overcards. I will go for a check raise here if he bets. Okay. Now it's gonna be hard to get paid. So, and the pot's pretty big. I think I'm just gonna give someone the chance to bluff at it. I don't think I'm gonna get called by much if I bet at it. And I have 2 people who could bet at it. So I'm just gonna call. No need to raise. No worse hands are gonna call me. Maybe some 2 pairs, so I'm just gonna call. Of course. Of course. I told you I was gonna lose a big pot. Alright, I told myself I would stop. I need to stop. Ah, that's what I get for slow playing. Alright. I really wasn't expecting a backdoor flush. That was a little annoying. Part of me wish I raised, but... Oh, man. I wanted to get tricky. I'm replaying it in my head. I didn't mind the way I played the flop. I don't mind the way I played pre-flop. I don't mind the way I played flop. Simply because there was no flush draws. When the flush draw came in, there's a lot of flush draws I could have had, and I could have bet. I was really thinking about my range, like the rest of my range here. And I was trying to protect a lot of my checking range. That's what I was thinking about, but I think I could have just raised on the turn, or I should have bet on the turn. But maybe the dude with top pair and a flush draw wasn't going to go anywhere. So it probably would have made me lose a bigger pot with that hand. But I'm going to analyze that hand a little bit more in depth. So I won one big blind today. All right, transactions. Yeah, bottom for 25, 137 cents. Woohoo! After an hour and what is that, 22 minutes. All right, could have been worse, could have lost. But hey, we're learning, we're getting better. It's what we're here for. Hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm about to watch some One Piece and go to bed. Peace out.